It's my 31st year framing, and I'm learning something new all the time. There's always something new. Something new comes in all the time. We have everything right now from Confederate money to frame, which I'll be putting French lines and panels around. John Wilkes Booth newspaper. I framed deceased cat ashes, cookies that were the last batches of cookies that people had baked when they died and the family wanted them memorialized. Toilet paper holder rolls. We kind of look at it as the opposite of planned obsolescence. When you frame something, if you do it right the first time, you never have to do it again unless you want to change a matte color at some point. But everything is meant to make it last up to the next 300 years as far as they can test. It's a CPF exam, and it's a Certified Picture Framer exam. I took it in 1987. One of the first 7 in Maryland, and I believe 400 in the world, they said at that time. The test was 3.5 hours, but I studied for over a year at the Library of Congress and all over. It's the history. You have to know the history of the frame styles, the history of adhesives, the history of glass, how it's made, matting. You have to know the history of the paper, alpha cellulose versus the old wood pulp mats. That's why if you look at one of your old mats, you'll see an orange line inside. That's the acid coming out. The lignins, it ages just like a tree. So that's bad. And there's UV glass versus regular glass, the old Coke bottle glass. There's lots of things that go into framing, not just matting colors and frame styles. It's what is good for your piece. You do have to know the alkalinity versus the pH neutral. There's mats that are buffered. There's mats that are rag, like what you're wearing, the clothes you're wearing. That's basically what the mats are. These are rag mats, museum quality, and they're fibers. So if you get, say, the typical gallery style white rag mat, and they do we call it gallery style. These are made of rag fibers, and so you might get little spots in there. They're inherent in this because that's part of the fiber process. And it used to be with the old paper mat, it would look like splinters sometimes because it's wood. We do all sorts of sports memorabilia. I have Green Bay Packer jerseys in here right now. We've got huge quilts for the hospital. There's little bits of everything. Just found an old newspaper behind someone's work. And what was neat was the date. It was October 15th, 1929. And when you first see it, and then I realized that was the week, a few days before the whole world changed. So in that newspaper were Cadillac ads and everything was happy. The cartoons were happy. And then within a few days, everything in this world would change. And to find history like that, we found paintings, original paintings behind other works. All sorts of things over the years. And it's just interesting. I love it. And I treasure everything that comes in. When you come in here, I get to know you, whether you want it or not. I'm now framing for some of the kids that I framed for their parents 30 years ago. And so it's kind of a neat thing. I know my customers, they're a part of my life.